When the Lutzenkirchen family first moved from Chicago to the Deep South, they knew things would be a little different.
The South loves their football, I can say that. I went to Iowa. I was a Big Ten girl, and I thought, gosh, that's big time. You come here, it's a culture. I mean, it's a culture.
Despite being from the Windy City, they were still familiar with a certain rivalry a few states down.
I can just remember, we always watched the Iron Bowl. That was the game that was on Thanksgiving weekend.
But they never expected being a part of that rivalry. Today will be Philip Lutzenkirchen's last game as a member of the Auburn football team, while their youngest daughter, Abby, is in her first season playing soccer for Alabama.
They're like, why the heck is this girl at Alabama when he's this big name at Auburn? Signing day for me was crazy because I had Alabama and Auburn fans tweeting me and my brother back and forth like, how could she do that? How could she go to Bama? And Bama fans are like, well, she picked a better school. And so that was pretty funny. We were trending on Twitter that day.
I would never have imagined that we would have children living in Alabama, let alone going to school in Alabama, and then to have them on opposite poles of the Alabama thing.
And neither did Abby and Philip. But so far, they've been enjoying the friendly competition.
We've been joking around. I always talk about how pretty Alabama is, and he's always like, not as pretty as Auburn. I'm like, that's a farm town. No, it's not. And he always just makes fun of us. He's like, you guys aren't smarter than Auburn people. And
it's all just kind of playful, though. We don't take it too seriously. I don't think you'll see me wearing any Crimson Tide gear, and I don't think you'll see her wearing any Auburn gear.
He's drinking out of an Alabama cup at home, though, so I told him I was going to take a picture and put it on Twitter, but I never did.
It wasn't until Abby's unofficial visit to Alabama that the Lutzenkirchens truly experienced what it's like to be a house divided.
The Iron Bowl of the national championship year, and what family can experience that? We were on a recruiting visit for Abby, sitting in the Alabama section with our Auburn clothes underneath our jackets that were crimson.
Because I wouldn't let him wear Auburn colors.
Abby made it very clear that I couldn't wear any Auburn gear outwardly to that game, so I actually had a crimson colored jacket on, and other parents from Auburn were actually questioning what I was wearing.
I was like, guys, it's my visit. You have to be like polite and not wear any Auburn stuff.
Down 24-0.
And we were down 24-0, and we were very quiet, and no one knew.
And we're sitting there, and we're so mad the first half because we're getting creamed, and like everyone was cheering around us, and it was so annoying hearing "First down, Alabama, roll Tide" constantly.
And then all of a sudden, that touchdown came that Philip caught, and we just were like, ah!
But I was like, that's my brother.
They're like, who are you? We're like, that's our son. They're like, you're sitting in the Alabama recruiting section and you're cheering for Auburn? We're like, yeah.
That would be the first of many unique experiences for the Lutzenkirchens. Their unusual family predicament is leaving Mary and Mike a little conflicted.
My dad around home in Georgia always wears like an Alabama visor with an Auburn jacket. I'm like, Dad, you can't do that. People are probably so confused. Like, and my mom just has her little pins she wears to work.
They wear their Auburn stuff on Saturdays, and they wear their Alabama stuff during soccer games.
It's Alabama soccer, never Alabama football.
I've kind of gotten a reputation now with the soccer parents. I don't say roll tide. I'll say roll tide and really emphasize soccer behind roll tide.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, it's always going to be Auburn football.
My dad and mom, they're so funny about it. My dad has an Alabama jacket, but he got Lutzenkirchen with a soccer ball put on it so people know it's for soccer and not just football. So he loves it though. When he sees Bama fans, he tells them about Philip. When he says Auburn fans, he tells them about me. So it's just so funny. They bleed orange and blue and now crimson. So
it's safe to say that Mike is all in, at least in terms of football. But what about Abby? Will she be faithful to her family or tied and true?
I don't know what will happen. It'll probably be a little awkward, but it's all fun. So
she may be tested this year, but if she makes the right decision, she's going to root for Auburn to play well.
But don't be surprised if you see Abby in the Alabama student section cheering for her school. It won't be the first time she's rebelling. For Tide and Tigers Today, I'm Britton Lynn.